Father, we thank you for the reading of your word. We know that God, your word is alive, it's active. It's a double-edged sword that will cut and divide into our bones and marrow, going deep into our thoughts and motives, knowing what is our heart, deep inside our heart. So we pray that God, as we open up your word, may your word shine into our lives, into our hearts, for examining us. May your Holy Spirit be our teacher. May you use me as a worthy servant to preach and bring forth your word. And grant us concentration, grant us energy, Lord, this morning as we hear the preaching of your word. Humble ourselves before you. Thank you for hearing us. We pray these in Jesus' name. Good morning.
Good morning.
Have you seen people who are very, very oblivious about things that's happening around them? I will show you some examples of people who are so oblivious. I put it like Singlish called blur blur, like, blur blur. They don't know what's happening around them. So for example, can you see this lady here? She was using a handphone and jaywalking across, and there comes a taxi and it was all captured in the CCTV. So I didn't get someone to act this out. So this is on in the news. She was so oblivious, talking on the phone, jaywalking, and she didn't even know that there's an incoming taxi, and she got knocked down by the taxi. And of course, thankfully, nothing really happened to her. And there was this other case. This man watching TV at home, happily sitting on his couch, and the back of his house was actually burning, and his neighbors saw the fire, saw the smoke, called 995. And he didn't even know that his house was on fire. He was so oblivious to it, still blurred, until he saw from his window that fire brigade was coming through his gate. Then he was like, what's happening? Then he opened it and said, your backyard was actually burning. They are oblivious to what's happening. But of course, not some of these things are so obvious. Some of them will develop over time. Some of this blurriness or being just oblivion to whatever that's happening, it develop over time. This case study of this 22-year-old Korean man, he was so addicted to internet gaming, and it was developed through the years. He started off with playing like 6-7 hours per day, then he goes to 10 hours per day, he goes to 14 hours per day. By the time he was diagnosed, he was playing like 17 hours per day. 17 hours per day. He lost his sleep, lost his concentration in school, his schoolwork deteriorated very badly. His health also deteriorated very badly. And not just that, financially he was like splurging into the game, and he was affected financially as well. And he began to live outside his house. Emotionally, he was distant from people. He began to develop this antisocial attitude towards people, and he was just living in his house. And he was describing during the diagnosis time that he was still playing his computer game, and his house was in a mess. And he said he remembered times that he was playing, and rats were actually crawling up the cables in his computer game in front of him when he was playing the computer game. It was so bad until, in some cases, some of them became so quarrelsome. The antisocial behavior developed. They're so quarrelsome, and they became very aggressive. And it was developed over time. He didn't know this addiction was eating him up. He was oblivious to this whole entire experience until it was so bad that he had to go for counseling, to go for treatment, and all. And this was developed over the time. And sometimes people can just be so oblivious about things that's happening around, or things that are even happening to them. You can see, to their health, to their emotion, to their families and all. And today's passage in Joel chapter 1, some of us pronounce this as Joel, some of us pronounce it as Joel. We take the traditional pronunciation. Joel chapter 1. And this is what's happening in the nation of Israel. The nation was in trouble, but it was still oblivious to what's happening here. And God's people were like, this example of this internet gaming guy. He was in this trouble, but he was just oblivious of what's happening to them and to the surrounding. And Now God sent someone, and his name is Joel, prophet, and he was sent by God to talk to his people. We ask ourselves, who is Joel? Well, if you read through the Bible, there's not much information about him. We only know that he's son of Bethuel. He's probably from the southern kingdom. At the time, the Israel kingdom was divided into the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. So he's probably from the southern kingdom. In chapter 2, verse 1, you see that he was addressing to Jerusalem, which is the southern kingdom. And he was he referred to King Jehoshaphat, which is probably around the time of Isaiah or later. Okay. So we don't know too much things about him. He's probably his friend, Isaiah's friend. But yeah, definitely two things that we know about Joel. Number one, he's a prophet. And the scripture says so, a prophet. Okay. Number two, he's not just a prophet. He's a frustrated prophet. He's a frustrated prophet. You take a look at the passage itself. He began the letter or the prophecy with a question. There were a few questions, two questions. And these questions need no answer. It's normally called rhetorical questions. These questions that need no answer. And he begins in verse 2. He says, have you seen such things happening in our days? Have you seen it? Or in the days of your father? He asks two questions. These are rhetorical questions, and you would find the Israelites gathered together and says, no, they won't be answering it. It's a rhetorical question. He says, have you seen it? Have you seen things like this happening? He's asking them this question. Isn't it obvious enough, guys? This is his question. So when you read this, you must feel the tone that he is. And he asks this rhetorical question again, the second time, in verse 16. Look at verse 16. It's not the food cut off from us. Joy, celebration, gladness cut off from the house of God. Is it not true? Don't you feel it? No, he's asking this question. He said, can't you see that you're actually in a dangerous situation? And don't you feel, guys, don't you feel that something is going on and something is wrong? So he's asking this question. He said, isn't it obvious? Why are you still oblivious? Why don't you open your eyes and see? Why are you still English? Why are you still blah blah like that? So this is how he's feeling. That's why he's not just a prophet, he's a frustrated prophet. So when you read this passage, at least when you read chapter 1, you must feel his frustration. He's very exasperated. This prophet is exasperated. Why? We ask ourselves, why is he so angry? Why is he so exasperated? Why is he so frustrated? Take a look at the evidences. I put there, did you read the news? The subtitle I given to you in the outline. Did you not read the news? There is a countrywide disaster. There's something that's happening to us, the whole countrywide. And it is a locust invasion or a locust plague. And it is like something that's happening throughout the whole country, and it's impossible that you don't see it, you don't feel it, you can't tell there's something that's wrong. Something like this. I'm going to give you an illustration like this. Which part of Australia is on bush wildfire? Can you see on the screen? All the red dots are actually all the different parts of Australia that's on bushfire. And if you ask Australian, which Australian is not aware of this national crisis? Which Australian? You can't find one probably. So it's something like this. Like there's a national crisis here, a locust plague, and across Israel, at least the northern Israel part of it, locusts are stripping the whole nation bare. Anything green, anything that moves, or any plant plantation, it will strip them bare. Verse 4 to 7. So Joel was so frustrated until he called them, guys, do you not see anything? Verse 5, are you drunk? Were you sleeping when all these things were happening in drunkenness? Were you sleeping in drunkenness? Wake up and look around. Can you see? Can you feel the frustration of Joel? Second thing that happens to them is not just a locust plague. Verse 19, 20. There was drought, fire, dryness, lick up the pasture. The water news all dried up, animals were all dying. He said, didn't you read the news? What's happening to our nation? As if these are not enough evidence, Joel continued to point out the terrible effects of the locust plague and the drought plague, and the drought that they are facing. He said, look around you and see for yourself. See for yourself. Look around you. The effects of the locust plague, the worship and the service unto God is disrupted. Offering, wine offering, drink offering in the house of God are all cut off. He said it 2 times in verse 9. He says, you see, grain offering, drink offerings are all cut off from the house of God. End of verse 13, you can see gladness, grain offering and drink offerings are withheld from the house of your God. So worship of God and the services unto God, whatever they are supposed to do, will all be cut off. Not just that, verse 10, first part tells us the environment is damaged. The field is stripped off, is cut off, is destroyed. The ground mourned over it. Food supply for all the kind of crops that they have in verse 10, verse 11, verse 12. The trees, all kinds of trees, have been stripped back. Can you see that the environment and the food supply were all cut off and destroyed? These are the effects. As if you can't see anything. So he was bringing up to them evidences. It's just like I tell you about addiction, about the guy who was playing internet gaming. The evidences are there. You can see you're cut off from your family. You're falling sick. You're run out of money. You're failing in your school results, and now you're all staying by yourself in this place, like rat infested, dirty, filthy. Don't you see all these evidences? This is Joel's frustration. And not just that, how about the effect of drought? Again, he said the food supply is cut off in verse 17. He says the storehouse, you have to start cruising down, tearing down all the storehouses, the barns, and all. And the beasts, the animals themselves, groans, they are destroyed too. The beasts die. And in both cases, whether it is locust, plague, or the drought, in both cases it was mentioned in verse 12 and verse 16, gladness and joy cut off. Gladness and joy are cut off. You see, gladness dries up from the children of men, verse 12. Verse 16 says, joy and gladness are cut off from the house of our God. Joel was asking, didn't you see this terrible crisis that we are in? Isn't it not obvious enough? Have you witnessed the damaging effects of all these things? Are you still oblivious to all this that's happening? Do you not feel the destructive effect? Are you still blah, living your life, go through thinking nothing is happening? Do you feel his frustration? In fact, the question I want to ask all of us, and as you read this passage, we must ask this question. Do you feel the frustration of the Holy Spirit? This is the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of God that inspired the writing of Joel. So when it is the Spirit of God who inspired him, not just understand what Joel is talking, we must also feel the exasperation of this prophet, but also the exasperation of God, the Holy Spirit, inspiring him writing this. You must feel this. You must feel with God, the heartbeat of God. Something is wrong, but everybody are just blind towards it. I'm going to show you a possible structure in this chapter. They call it a sandwich. Verse 2 to verse 12, verse 2 began with a rhetorical question. Remember the questions that don't need answer. And verse 16 also began with these questions, rhetorical questions that don't need answer. And verse 2 followed by a whole list of observation. And verse 16, after the question, followed by a whole list of observation as well. So it's forming like the top bread and the bottom bread of a sandwich. The top bread of a sandwich is the question and observation. The bottom bread, verse 16 onwards, is questions followed by observation as well. So we ask ourselves, if this could be a possible structure of chapter 1, what is the most important part of chapter 1? What's the most important part of the sandwich? Of course, the key message or the most important part is the filling, the patty in the middle of the sandwich, right? That's the most important part. This is the central message of the passage. After telling them to see what's happening around them, the key message falls in the patty. Verse 15 to verse 14. What does verse 13 to 14, 15 tells us? Well, he says, at least, look carefully, he says, go in and pass through the night, call for a fast, call for a solemn assembly. Verse 14. Well, it seems that Joel is asking or urging the Israelite people to pause and reflect first. Pause and reflect about our life, about what's happening. Pause and reflect. And he didn't just say, okay, just pause and reflect, just sit under one coconut tree, just go and think about it. No. He says, come into the house of God and do that. Verse 14. He said, come into the house of God, call for this assembly. Well, when they come into the house of God, what they do in their practices is they will listen to the reading of the law of Moses, or explanation of the law of Moses. So they will not just reflect, but they allow the word of God, allow the law of God to be a shining light into their lives, to help them reflect about their heart, to examine them. Allow the word of God to examine them. Who should do that? The priest. Those who are religious, the religious leaders of the time, the elders, and all inhabitants. Basically, everyone should just pause, sit down, take some time to reflect, and read the word of God. Let the word of God reflect. And one other thing he says, you must understand in verse 15, it says, alas for the day of the Lord is near. This is one of the key themes in the book of Joel, which we will examine further chapters to come. But one of the key themes is about the day of the Lord. You must understand this is from God's hand. He said, don't turn your blind eye to this. See, don't remain oblivious. He said, look at it. See that it is from God's hand. It is from the hand of God. Verse 15 says, he said, as destruction from the Almighty Himself, it comes. It is a wake-up call from God. He says, this is a wake-up call from God. Well, we hear some of these type of messages before. In the New Testament, let me give you two examples. For some of us who may not be Christians, sitting here, but a verse like this may remind us of, in 1 Corinthians, it says, in the name of our Lord Jesus, when you are examined, I've decided to deliver such a man, an immoral man in the midst of the church itself, behaving, pretending to be a Christian. He said, I deliver such man to Satan for the destruction of his flesh, so that at least, hopefully, his spirit will be saved in the days of the Lord Jesus. So that whatever disaster, whatever that means, something must have happened to him physically, to his surrounding, or to this immoral man living in the Corinthian church. And Paul says, I deliver him to Satan so that his flesh will be destroyed. But hopefully he may come to his senses, he may take the warning, he may wake up his idea, he may not be oblivious again, and his soul, his spirit may be saved. Well, such warning could be a glimpse of God's judgment. Such warning can be a glimpse of hell. Hopefully people going through such difficulties or such disasters or difficulty or suffering in their life, hopefully they wake up their idea and realize that I'm not in control. I need a savior. All these things I've done in my life, I've destroyed myself and the people around me. I need help. I need Jesus. Hopefully, if you are sitting here and you don't know Jesus and things are happening here, do not be oblivious to it. Hopefully you will wake up your idea and you will understand, yeah, it could be from God's hand. It could be God's loving warning towards me. Want me to wake up from my idea the way I'm living a godless life. Well, it could be that. Or it could be for Christians, like in Hebrews chapter 12 verse 10 it says, well, for they, human fathers, discipline us for a short time and it seems best to them, but God, our Heavenly Father, but He disciplined us for our good that we may share in His holiness. But sometimes such discipline, such suffering come to us as believers, Christians, it's also to wake us up. It's also a warning for us that there must be something wrong with me. God is disciplining me. God wants me to share finally in His holiness. This is a loving stroke of Cain from the Father Himself. It could be. What does it mean for us as we understand too well? Well, evil does happen in this broken world that's already damaged by sin. It may happen at an international level, like SARS many years ago, or at a national level. It may happen to a Christian community, or your family, individual family, or sometimes it could just happen to you individually. Well, do not get me wrong. We are not saying all evils are from God. We are not saying that. We are also not saying all evils are a direct effect of my sin or your personal sin. We are not saying that too. But however, having said that, this may not be the case, but we cannot remain oblivious to things. We cannot remain blurred to what is happening around if these two situations happen to us. I like to think of these two situations. Think along for your own life, reflect about your own life. If there are conflicts and hurts are always around us because of us. First situation, I put there, all areas and same result. All areas and same result. What do I mean? Well, if you find it, whether you are in the area of your family, there's quarrels, fight, hurt, in the area where you go to school, or for students, or for working adults in the workplace, there's still fights and disharmony, and you go to a church, the church that you go to, and there's also disunity, and all these unities and fights, you are involved in it, in one way or another. All areas, but the same result is disunity, fights, quarrels, and all of them you are involved in it. Well, it calls for some evaluation, isn't it? It cannot be that something wrong with your family, something wrong with your school or workplace, something wrong with the church, and nothing wrong with you. You get me? So it calls for evaluation. Second way to evaluate yourself. Same area, different setting, but the same result. It could be same area. You join a project group or you join a company. There's quarrels and fight. You change the company, you change the project group, there's still quarrels and fight. You change yet another company and still quarrel and fight. It's the same area, different setting, the same result. When you go to this church, there's disunity and you are involved in it. You say, something wrong with you, you change. Go to another church, and you still quarrel and fight, and you are still involved in it. You still change. It's the same area. No matter how many churches you go to, you stay there 2-3 years, fight, 2-3 years, fight, 2-3 years, fight. Well, it's the same area, different setting, it's still the same result. It cannot be all the companies are wrong, all the churches are wrong, it could be they are wrong, but there's cause for self-evaluation also, isn't it? So think about it and look at the effects that's happening around. Whether relationships are strained because of you, in all these, either situation 1 or 2, or it has caused you that you are not able to serve God and worship God properly wherever you go, the workplace, at home, in school, in church, or wherever, it caused you not able to serve. Remember the offerings were all cut off because of the result of all these things. And lastly, you lose joy. You are losing joy in your life, in your family, in your church, in your ministry, in your workplace. You are losing joy. All these things are possible effects of things that are happening. Evaluate them. Look at the situation 1 or situation 2 and evaluate whether these areas are all affected. Whether troubles always come just because of you, me, it could be. So we cannot remain oblivious, isn't it? We cannot remain blurred, because when we do an evaluation, we realize, I'm not that holy after all. Maybe I'm the cause of it. So, what should we do? Well, I put there a few things that we can do and think about it. Like what I said earlier, we should pause and reflect. And this is just the beginning of a new year. We've just ended 1 year. Pause and reflect. Humbly allow the Word of God to examine our hearts, examine us. And if it's true that we are, in one way or another, big way or even a small way, as a contributor to the problem that we are facing, we must be honest about it and admit it before God. And admit it that it could be God disciplining us for something. God, it's good for us to take 1 day, if we can afford, 2 days away from our work, all our busy schedules, for a while, just for a while, read the Word of God, and spend time praying in humility and in honesty, ask God to examine us and ask us to take stock about what's happening in our life now. And evaluate each area that we're going through, each area that we are facing trouble. And especially what are the situations that cause us to react suddenly. So that as we examine it, we pause and examine it, just like Joel is asking the people, guys, go through the night in sackcloth. Guys, enter into the house of God. Guys, this may be God's way of talking to us, and reminding us of something. I hope that this, as the year began in this new year, we will take some time, I will take some time to this, after the busy preaching and schedules in the whole of December and all the activities. I'm going to take some time this week, take some time to evaluate my life. I hope all of us will take some time to just be away, take a notebook, take the Bible, pray, evaluate and plan for something, work out something for our life. So that this life, in this year to come, we will continue to live a life that is honoring, glorifying God and loving people around us. Amen? May God help us. Let's pray. We thank you, Lord, for your word. May we feel the heartbeat of the Holy Spirit of God who inspired the writing of Joel. May that disturb us if we need to be disturbed. I pray that God will nevertheless, for all of us, that we take time to evaluate our life and take stock about our walk with you, our spiritual life before God. Hear us, O God, and empower us by your Spirit to do what is right. And we pray all this in Jesus' name.